When I was 16, I got kicked out of school for inciting a riot. But it ended up, it wasn't me inciting the riot. It was during a racially tense time, and I was on the basketball team, and I got into a fight with one of my teammates. We happened to be white. And because it was so racially tensed, our fight gave permission for many other blacks and many other whites to let out their frustrations. And so it just turned into a big thing. And so I was expelled from school, expelled from the whole county school system. And at that time, I set out to hitchhike across the country, and I only ended up in the next town. And so my going across country in the mid 90s was just, I guess, a continuation of what I intended to do when I was 16. There is this movement, especially among millennials, not to judge people by ethnicity, skin color, sexual preference, or any of those things. You guys don't have the same kind of mentality about those things. And so, because you are becoming ever more present in the world, in America, on this campus, those kinds of discriminations are falling by the wayside. And that is the case with so many millennials. You know, they don't quite understand what all the fuss is about. And they don't care to understand it to the degree that it's going to make me side one way or the other based on a person's sexuality, a person's skin color, or whatever. And so they are more like what Dr. Martin Luther King said, judge people by the content of their character. It's a good time. It's a good time because because you guys are, as I said, are becoming ever more present in the dialogue, in the discussion of these things that have haunted America for years and years and years. And people are still trying to cling on to it. That's what all the controversy is over the removal of the Confederate statues, the removal of the flag. There's just this grip that's trying to hold on to it. And it's not millennials. That ever-present movement, I, in many ways, welcome and congratulate. You can ask anybody on this campus, aside from their parents, who played the biggest role in getting you to where you are now. And 9 times out of 10, he or she will name a teacher or a coach. You are fascinated by this person's looks, or this person's take on life, or this person this or that. It was my 10th grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Hart. She was Irish. and she was the first one who told me that I should be a writer. And my 11th grade English teacher, Mrs. Hart was an English teacher also. My 11th grade English teacher, Mrs. Davis, um, just added on to what Mrs. Hart uh, said. And then all along the line, I've had wonderful teachers. And I remember my 8th grade teacher, Ms. Snyder, who was very inspiring. My 7th grade teacher, Mr. McGee, was very, very inspiring. I think everyone sets out in some kind of way to change the world. Uh, it's a bigger mission for some than for others. I had a lot of good professors, but one professor that stands out was my philosophy professor. His name was Dennis Robbins, and he perhaps planted the biggest seed, uh, or the a seed that grew the biggest in me. And it was just talking about the way to look at something so that you actually see something. A quote from him, he said, "If I say the sky is blue, don't take my word for it. Get up, go to the window, look for yourself."